So your foundation is flawless indoors, and then you step outside and you can see the difference between your neck and your whole face. Like, it literally looks like your head belongs to another body and your neck belongs to another head, because they just don't match. Today we're going to fix that once and for all. I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you match your foundation so that your face matches your neck every time, and also a few tricks in there with how to fix it. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, I'm Nina. I'm a celebrity and professional makeup artist and a beauty educator, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I have lots of information to share with you. I make it very relatable. I make it very for everyday life. It's very real life. It's not just for the studio lights and runways. Let's first talk about exactly why this happens. So why is it that when you're doing your makeup at home, it looks like everything matches, everything looks fine, and then you go outside and you catch yourself in the mirror somewhere and you're like, everything looks very different to how it looked this morning? Let's start with the basics first. Your neck and your face are usually a different color. As you can see on me, my neck is a little bit darker than my face. Like, my face is definitely a lot paler than the rest of my body, right? Look, there you go, you can see. Now, granted, I am quite tanned and I live in a hot country, so I'm constantly, I have exposure to the sun. Don't worry, I do protect myself with SPF, but my face doesn't always kind of like tan as much, because obviously I've always got my SPF on as well. It could also be the other way around for a lot of people. So sometimes the face is a little bit darker and the rest of the body is not as dark. So this all really depends person to person. Like, it could be that someone who spends a lot of time in the sun is have kind of like covered their body, tends to have more sunspots, like a darker face, and the rest of the body is not as kind of like tanned. It's the other way around with me. And that isn't just because I wear SPF every day. That's also because I use things like retinol, I use tretinoin, so I use exfoliants on my face. And that in itself is getting rid of any kind of dead skin. So I'm constantly kind of bringing the new skin out on my face. And these obviously lighten the face as well. They lighten your skin. Now, another thing is people do have different undertones. Like, you might have a different undertone on your neck and the rest of the body compared to the face. You've got undertones, and then you've got your surface tone. So your neck might be cooler or warmer than your face, depending on redness pigmentation. And it could even be down to hormonal changes. So what my point is even if you buy the right shade, your base can still end up looking mismatched because the canvas isn't kind of uniform to begin with. Very quickly, if you do like this video and are enjoying it so far, please do hit the like button, subscribe, and the bell button so that you don't miss any future good videos. The next thing that can make a big difference is lighting. Lighting will completely change everything. That foundation that you swatched in a store under whatever type of lighting they have can look completely different once you get home and you're sitting under your cool or warm lighting. Or it could end up looking just orange in daylight, which actually is something that's quite common. It does happen a lot, where it looks completely fine and then you walk outside, you're in the daylight and it looks orange. I would say always test your foundation in natural light, and that's daylight, so outside. Don't rely on any kind of artificial lighting. Like, always go close to a window. If you're in a store, go right up to the window, face the light, and look at it that way. This one little change alone is going to help you massively. Now, let's talk about how to find the right shade. Here's where a lot of people go wrong. They'll apply it to the jawline, which is right, because I always say you should always apply it to the jawline to check the color. But the reason for that is because you want to compare it to the neck, not just apply it to the jawline for the sake of it. Otherwise, you might as well apply it anywhere on the face. So my point there is that some people apply it to the jawline, trying to kind of match it to the skin tone, and they're not thinking about what's right there visible to you, what you're trying to match it up to. So it's really a case of looking, does this sit here nicely and kind of match this neck very well? It really depends on kind of what way round it is as well. So for example, if your face is lighter like mine and your neck is a little bit deeper, then obviously I know that I always tend to go a little bit deeper with my foundation because I can get away with it because it matches my neck then. If I were to go the exact same skin color as my face, I'm going to look too pale. I have a foundation here that I was sent, and they actually sent me the wrong shade and it was too light. And when I applied it, I knew when I got it, I was like, this is way too light. But when I applied it, it actually matched my skin on my face really well, but it just looked too pale. So I know, and that tells me straight away that I'm right when I know that I'm going for a darker shade, like a deeper tone for my foundation, because I need to warm up my face. It could be that your face is a little bit darker than your neck, in which case you can go a little bit lighter, but you've really got to make sure it's a touch lighter because you also don't want it to look so mask-like either. So for example, if your neck is lighter, go half a shade lighter on your foundation. Then you can add warmth with a bronzer. There's a little trick if your face is lighter, which I have done in the past, and actually I might do it again. I've literally just reminded myself, like, I should actually do this because I'm losing my tan on my face in general. But what I like to do is if your face is lighter, use some tanning drops, like something that you can kind of like really kind of warm your face up naturally, and that's going to help to just like kind of balance everything out. So I actually have a face tanning lotion that I might use. I know why I haven't used it recently, because I'm on tretinoin, that's why. So make sure you're not using any kind of exfoliant at the same time, but tanning drops are a great way to kind of deepen your light skin on your face. Now let's talk about how you bring it all together. I'm going to be actually applying a foundation so that we can really ensure that it matches my skin. I'm just going to be applying it on this side because it's really about understanding how it matches. And I'm going to be applying a couple of different ones so that you can see the difference. Okay, so I've got this foundation on one side. I'm going to explain what they are in a second. So I have my DIOR Forever Matte Foundation in 3W. That's usually the foundation I go to when I'm not so tanned. Then I have my MAC Studio Radiance in NC38, and that is my foundation when I am a little bit kind of more tanned. What I want to do is add one on this side and one on this side, and I want to show you how I end up looking at the foundation and looking at what's right and wrong in it. We're going to use the finger. I'm going to take this DIOR one. I would suggest, by the way, applying a decent amount when you are like trying to match it. Don't just apply the smallest amount and think, oh, that works. If it looks good with a decent layer, then you know it's going to look good with a small amount. Okay, there you go. On one side, we've got that. Let's clean off my hand. Okay, then on the other side, so that's the DIOR one in 3W. Then on this side, and we're going to go over this whole area. You see how I'm not just doing a tiny bit? Like, let's be realistic. If you really want to see if something works for you, you've got to get a decent amount on, because otherwise you're not going to be able to tell. Right, see that? Let's look at this now. So, as I said, the DIOR foundation in 3W is usually what I use when I'm not tanned, which is kind of now, right? The MAC foundation in NC38 is what I usually use when I am tanned. That's here. Can you see the difference there? I'm hoping you can see this. This is a lot darker than my skin on my face, and it is actually darker than my neck. So clearly it's obvious that I'm not as tanned anymore, because usually that goes on perfectly. Now this is what works now. It's actually a very tiny bit deeper than my skin tone on my face, but it's actually matching my neck perfectly. So let's have another look here. I'm just going to stay in this kind of position so you can have a look here, because I really want you to kind of see the difference. Hopefully we'll zoom in. Right? Okay, there you go. So what you can do is you basically apply it on your jawline, and then you can use your brush to blend it into the jaw. Right there. Right? That blends in perfectly, and if I kind of like stretch out or go like that, you can see there's no line. Here, it's I can even see the line here. That's how much darker it is to my actual skin on my face. So it's much darker. It's darker than my neck. It's obvious, right? So these are the little things that you need to look out for when you are trying things on your face. And I honestly, truly believe that you should be trying one that's darker and one that's lighter, and then go from there. If you tried just one, if I only tried one and I wasn't like comparing it to any other foundation on the other side, I think I'd probably be like, yeah, it seems okay to me. But the minute you compare it to something else, you're like, actually, hold on a minute. Like, it's way better than that. It definitely works, or it definitely doesn't work. Okay, let's wipe this off, because this is just way too dark. Let's just take this off. Let's take this off too, because we don't actually need it on. Let's talk about matching mismatched makeup. So during the day, maybe if you didn't realize, let's just say you've already made that mistake and then you go through the day and you've got that mismatched makeup. Like, it's unfortunate, but sometimes you only actually notice it once you're out and about, and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? It's too late. I've been in that position where I've been in a rush and I've not checked something the way that I should do, and I've not followed my own advice. And then I've been out during the day and I've been like, oh my God, what do I do now? I'm out all day. I don't have a chance to fix it. Like, I don't have the right stuff with me. So this is what I really want you to know, is that I'm trying to avoid that happening, or making sure that you have the right products with you when you go out and about. I would say a couple of things that you should always keep with you in your makeup bag when you're out and about is the Airbrush Flawless setting spray, always forget the name, from Charlotte Tilbury. I think that is a really good setting spray to keep with you, and I think they do a small travel size one, which is great for your handbag. And also keep a beauty blender with you, so just keep it in a little kind of like, you know, it comes in this anyway, and just keep it in that little box if you want. Just keep one separate in your bag. Another thing I would keep with you is a bronzer. You also want to keep a powder, like something like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish setting powder, you know, the pressed one. That one, that's a good one to keep in your bag for emergencies. So those 4 things I think are pretty good to keep with you. So your setting spray, which is the Charlotte Tilbury one because it's hydrating, your beauty blender, a bronzer, whether it's cream or powder, that's up to you, and your powder, like your face powder. So the reason for that is because if you turn around, you have a look at yourself and you're like, okay, my face is looking way too light, like it's not warm enough, then what you can do is just go straight to your bronzing powder and start bronzing your face on the areas that the sun would normally hit you, and that's going to warm up your face a lot more. Alternatively, what you can do is soften all of the makeup up by spraying the spray. So this is where you maybe want to get rid of some foundation. You then get your sponge and you press it all over, because what's happening is it's actually picking up the excess product that you don't need. Then once that's kind of dried down, you set it with a little bit of powder and add some bronzer. So there are two ways of dealing with that. Now, let's just say your face is too dark when you're out and about and you're like, okay, it's way too dark. It doesn't match my neck. My neck is lighter. Then you would do the same thing. You'd get your spray. You would then soften everything up with it, get the sponge, and you're going to lift off any kind of product, and you're going to go over with your powder. Your powder is usually a little bit, tiny bit lighter anyway, so that's going to help to lighten things up. But also what you can do is get your bronzer and apply a little bit to your neck. So just for the day, it kind of balances everything out. So sometimes it isn't the actual mistake that you're going to deal with, it's the other part of it that isn't the mistake that can help to balance things out. Now, here are some quick long-term fixes. Now, if you are worried about the fact that your face is a different color to your neck, then you can kind of start now, and the results are not going to be immediate, but they are going to be later on, like you will see it eventually, is when you're adding your SPF, add it to your neck as well, so that you are avoiding kind of like just protecting one area. You should be adding it to your neck anyway, to be honest with you. So your SPF should be going all over your neck, and that way it's easier for you to balance out the color on your neck and your face. It will take a little bit of time, and like I said, it's long term, but it will help in the end. If you feel like pigmentation is an issue for you, like for example on the neck area or even on the face, and you want to like lighten your face a little bit because maybe it's darker than your neck, then maybe you do want to think about having maybe a chemical peel. I would always recommend speaking to a professional dermatologist about this though. So don't just go and get it done. Go and speak to someone about it. But it could be that you may need that, because if you've never had it, maybe that's what you need to be able to like balance everything out. Like it could be that you just need a gentle chemical peel, or even start using some vitamin C. But again, speak to a dermatologist about this, someone professional who can tailor something exactly to your skin type and analyze your skin as it is and see what you need and what you don't need. Don't just start using random products with ingredients that you've never used before. If you are liking this so far, you might actually want to subscribe to the Beauty Breakfast Club, which is my online platform and community. We've got nearly 6,000 people on this community, and it's pretty amazing. It is thebeautybreakfastclub.com. So you might want to head on over there, and it's free to subscribe and you get access to newsletters every other day. But if you subscribe to the paid version, which will cost you the same as getting yourself one coffee every month, but you get way more than a coffee, you will get access to the entire site. You unlock everything, you join the group chat, and you can ask your questions to me, and I'm on that group chat as well, and it's been really nice meeting you guys, getting to know a lot of you. So it's a very close-knit community, and Everyone is genuinely very nice, and I would love to see you over there. I just want to add here that something that it might make actually everything seem easier to you. You know how we look at dark circles and we're like, okay, we know that this area is dark, so we need to brighten it up a bit. It's a very similar way when your face, when you're like the skin on your face and the skin on your neck are two different colors. So you really want to balance things out. Firstly, what you need to come to an understanding of is, what do you want? What way round do you want it? Do you want to be lighter or do you want to be darker? Like, do you have a dark face and a light neck? Therefore, do you want a darker neck or do you want a lighter face? So figure out where you sit there, right? So what is it that you want first? And then you can start balancing it out. It's a very similar thing with the darker eye area. We know that we add a little bit of a lighter concealer to brighten it up. It's the same thing for your face and your neck, but obviously you want to avoid looking too mask-like. So just remember that it's not so complicated. It's just a larger surface area that you're working on. So that is why your face never matches your neck, and that is how you fix it. From lighting to the wrong color, to your SPF, to generally figuring out whether you want to go lighter or darker, like all of these things are important to take on board because it just makes a difference in how everything looks at the end of it. And it's really about breaking it down and figuring out how you can balance it out, because you can do it. It's just about understanding it a bit better. I really do hope you've enjoyed it today. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I really wanted to just give this kind of all this information to you. I didn't want it to be like, oh, let's put makeup on today. I wanted you to really understand how you match it and how you can see how easy it is to just play around with it. Like, get your foundations that you have, even the ones that you don't use anymore, and apply them and just have a look at them in the daylight, right? So make sure you open the curtains, look outside the window, like face the light and look at it that way. Get a mirror. What I tend to do is get one of these, like either this or get just a normal, like I've got this like small mirror here. This is a Fenty one. So it's like that. And I just basically face the window, sorry. And then I just look. And that's my way of being able to tell whether everything matches right. Always face the daylight. I can't even begin to tell you, this is something that's going to probably get rid of most of your issues there and then. Always use daylight. I don't understand anyone who doesn't do their makeup facing the daylight. Best trick there is for you, honestly. So make sure you do that. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, let me know. Don't forget, everything's listed in the description, and I'll see you on the next video.